Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris. Before I really started this channel, I had used the space to just upload some videos, and about 5 years ago I did a cover of this solo, which is Jason Hook playing the solo on Bad Company by Five Finger Death Punch. This is actually a remix of a Bad Company song called Bad Company, but this is sort of more of a hard metal version of it. Jason Hook is a fantastic guitar player from Canada, great metal player. I chose this because Jason has a really mature, sort of great sound. He's got a very solid connection to the blues. You can sort of hear it. And I think all great electric guitar players, you know, they have that thread back to the blues. They understand it. They've spent some time there. So that's why I chose to do it. When I posted it originally years ago, I got a few comments about folks wanting it to be broken down. I haven't really had the time, and now that the channel's got a little momentum, I thought I'd revisit it and break it down for you. So, all right, let's get started. Okay, there's a lot here, so let's get started. The song is in the key of B minor. When I learn a solo, I really like to put the rhythm chords underneath me so I understand, you know, maybe why the soloist is making certain choices, and I can understand the harmony beneath it. So the chord progression for the solo goes like this. It's a 4-bar phrase, 2 bars of G major 7 to 2 bars of B minor, back to 2 bars of G major 7. This is a weird chord for heavy metal, but I'll show you how that works. It does that 3 times. On the 4th time it comes around to the G major 7, plays the G major 7 again for 2 measures, and then it resolves on an F sharp major. And that sets us up really nice to go back to the B. In the key of B minor, this is B natural minor. In this key, the chord that you build here on F sharp is actually a minor chord, but they've chosen a major chord here to really lift that harmony and push you back to the B. It's quite a nice change. Again, we're in the key of B minor. And Jason Hook is using 3 scales here. Throughout the entire solo, he only uses these 3 scales. We're on the 7th fret here, B minor. B minor pentatonic, B blues scale, and B Aeolian mode. Those are the only 3 scales he uses for the whole solo. The solo is sort of chopped up into 2 basic parts. There's like a very, very blues-based portion. The first 8 bars is all sort of B single, you know, sort of pentatonic position blues playing. And then he moves up the neck and does some pretty gymnastic stuff using the B Aeolian mode. And I see those as sort of the 2 primary parts of the solo. I'm going to play this phrase by phrase, and we'll just break it down. I'll give you fret numbers and go nice and slow. So, the first phrase goes like this. So again, right in this blues pocket for B minor, slides up to the 7th fret, and it's B, E, B. In other words, B string, E string, B string on the 7th fret, and then 10th fret on the B string, bend up a whole step. That bend has to be in tune because we're playing this G. He's bending up into the 3rd. So that bend has to be in tune. This is followed by a phrase that's basically a 3-note phrase that goes 7, 8 on the B string, 9 on G, bend up a whole step. This bend is actually going to the 7 of the G. He's bending to this note here. Listen to this. Here's the note he's bending to. Here's the G. Listen to that tension. So you got to have that bend in tune. He doesn't do any vibrato in these notes. And that's why, because there's already so much tension here. You don't want to add more to it by being out of tune. The next phrase, he sort of caps these 2 phrases off like this. And that's 9th fret G string, bend up, release, release to 7, and then 9th fret D string. Then there's this great counterpoint right from here where he goes 9 on the G string, back to 9 on the D string, and then 7, 9, 7 on the G string, and then slide up back to 9. So that goes like this. He caps this whole section off with a really nice counterpoint where he's using this B note, 9th fret on the D string. He's countering this note and playing it against 3 notes on the G string, which are 6, 7, 9, 7. And that sounds like this. See how he's doing that? He's countering. He's going the note on the D string, he's going D string, G string, D string, G string, D string, G string. And that's 6, 7, 9, 7. Now he repeats the first phrase of the solo almost verbatim, but instead of sliding in, he bends in from the G string, and I'll show you this whole phrase. Same as the first one. So all of that we've already learned. He just bends up into it from the G string. So now he's repeated that same phrase twice. The counterpoint he uses on the second time around is more of sort of a straight blues box. Again, same idea. He's rocking back and forth between the D string and the G string. But now he goes like this. So that's 9 on the D string, alternating between 7 and 9 on the G string. And then he hits the G string twice on 7. So that completes sort of this whole bluesy phrase. The first 4 bars of the first 8 bars of the solo is all this sort of blues phrasing. Now he goes up here and he gets on the trapeze and he does some pretty crazy stuff. The first riff in this part is arguably sort of the most fantastic looking and sounding riff, but it's not really that hard. It goes like this. It looks harder than it actually is. It's basically, I'm going to break it down string by string here, so into groups of notes. It's a 4-note phrase on the E string starting like this. 19, 14, 15, 14. Then it's B string, there's 3 notes here, 19, 15, 19. Back to the E string for 14, 15, 19, 14, 15, 14. And then back to the B string, 19, 15, 19. Now that sounds like a lot, but here, check it out. It goes like this. Once you break it down like that, the hardest part is getting this stretch. The stretch from 19 to 15. Just getting that stretch down and then getting it synchronized and playing it in time. That's the challenge. After this, he plays this really nice straight Aeolian sequence that goes like this. Pretty easy. It's a challenge to pick. You have to start with an upstroke, I believe. At least that's the way I do it. And that looks like this. 14, 15, 17, 14, 15, 17 on the B, back to E, 14, and then B is 15, 17, 14, 15, 16 on the G, and then you repeat those 3 notes. 14, 15, 16. Really slow, it looks like this. Really nice phrase there. He ends with a nice little blues lick here on the 14th and 16th fret, sort of like in the pentatonic box for F sharp it would be, I think. Sounds like this. Not a very complex lick. Again, he's bouncing from the D to the G string here. It's 14, 16, 16, 16, 14, 16, 14, slide up to 16. So that's the end of the gymnastic part way up here. Now he finishes the solo off with a really nice blues phrase and then one more sort of gymnastic little punctuation at the end. This next phrase is really my favorite in the whole solo, and it goes like this. So another blues-based solo, really strictly blues scale actually, and he slides into 7 again, 7th fret, B, E, B, and then 10 on B, 10 on G. And then resolves on 7 on B. Then back to 10 on G, 9 on G and bend it up to 10, and then 7 on B. So that's like this. And then back to the G string, he goes 10, 9, 7, and then ends with one of those counterpoint melodies again. So that's 9 on D to 9 on G, back to 9 on D, and then 7 on G, slide up to 9. Like this. That whole phrase sounds like this. Now, he does the last few sort of blues-based licks before the solo's over. And again, he slides up to 7, B, E, B. But now he goes to the E string, 10th fret, bend up a whole step to 12. Does the same thing on the next sort of pentatonic box. This is 10th fret, B, E, B, and bend up 12 on the E string, up a whole step. While it's bent, he adds his pinky and then releases. That's a very Steve Lukather lick. That exact lick is in the solo to Rosanna, by the way. So those two phrases are like this. Now the very last phrase in the solo, he ascends a B minor arpeggio and then descends the Aeolian mode. The arpeggio is very, very straightforward. And that's basically A string, 14, 17, 16 on D, 16 on G, 15 on B, 14 on E. And I think he sweeps it. The last phrase is a descending line for Aeolian, which goes like this. So that's fairly easy to get. The stretch is a little different. It goes like this: 19, 17, 14, 17 on the B. And then 14, 15, 17 on B and 14, 15, 17 on E. Then 18 on E for that F sharp chord. And then 19 on E for the B. So that whole part sounds like this. That's the whole thing. Okay, there it is. It's a metal solo. A metal solo every once in a while is a good thing to try to get. You know, all great guitar solos have some technical gold in them. I love this solo's juxtaposition between really flashy scalular stuff and really pretty straightforward blues playing. You know that there's one lick. It doesn't get more bluesy than that. And those bends, that whole step bend to the third of the G, real solid. And then the whole step bend to the 7. Wow, listen to all that tension. Love love that stuff. Really got to have your bends in order. You know, you really got to have them tight. And you know, even the flashy stuff is not that hard. It's not that complex. It's just that big stretch. Once you get the stretch, then the rest of it is just a synchronization exercise. Anyway, it's a great solo. Spend some time with it. I've tabbed it all out. That's in the link below. So head over there if you need to spend some more time with it, or you'd like the tabs. And of course, any support over there is greatly appreciated. I hope you enjoyed this. I really enjoyed doing it. I'll get some other solos. In fact, if you want to put some suggestions in the comments about solos you'd like to hear me break down like this, feel free to do so. I'd love to hear what's on your mind and what you'd like to hear me do. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.